All right, we are live. So now it'll probably put out all the notifications and all that good stuff.
There we go.
So anyway, we can just keep talking and make it good for the replay.
There you go.
Right
Tracy, are you completely off grid right now, or is that your main goal? Or
Well, no, we are completely off grid.
I thought
we were running off 200 watts of solar panels, and 4 Walmart deep cycle batteries, and a generator. And then we just upgraded to the 1,000-watt generator, and then 1,000 watts of solar panels, and I haven't had to run the generator. We made coffee this morning in our Keurig and didn't have to start the generator. That was nice. But yeah, we don't have any. The only wire coming into the house or piping or anything is for the generators. And we're I don't know, 600 to 800 feet down a seasonal road. Hey, Mikey. All things domestic. Welcome, guys.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Hi, people. Hi, everyone.
So how about you, Remy? Do you have any, are you off grid? Is that your,
well, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people's dream, but I don't think it's something that can happen in a short term. I have 5 kids, and I've lived a life of having debts, and something that I have to get rid of before I can even consider anything else. Well, I'm pretty sure I could sell the house and sell the cars and just go off grid, and I'd be able to pay my debts, but don't want to leave the kids in the middle of nowhere yet. They're still young. My youngest one is 7 years old. They'll continue to go to public school, and once they're gone, we'll see from there. I mean, everything is heading towards learning and trying to be as self-sufficient as possible in case something ever happens. Because, I mean, you never know. With everything going on right now, we realize that, the supply chains are weaker than we ever thought they were. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's problems, really. I know a lot of people, homesteaders here anyway, they always say that the initial cost up front is pretty ridiculous for them. At least what they would be conceiving would be, going solar. So a lot of them now are just using they're picking one thing at a time and making it off grid if it makes sense. They'll take one outbuilding, like the shop, and it'll work until it. And even though they have a list left and right, pros and cons, the first initial upfront cost, like the way Tracy's doing it, is way better on paper. But for them, it's way easier for them to do it the more costly way of doing per, 1 or 2 outbuildings at a time. And I understand that. So we haven't really done either way yet. I mean, we do have some things we're working on making completely off grid, but it's a decision for us. But it's definitely a direction we're going anymore.
Yeah. When we first went off grid, we tried it out with solar panels. We had the Harbor Freight 100 watts of solar panels, and that charged 1 battery for the camper, and that was great. And then right before we built the cabin, we got the 200 watt system, which is even better. And that it wasn't that. I want to say at the time we paid like $400 or $500, maybe not even that for the setup through Renogy. They're pretty affordable for their kits. And then just recently, the only reason we updated was a friend of mine called and said, "Hey, I'm replacing my solar panels. Do you want to buy these? I've got 12 250-watt solar panels. I'll sell them to you for like 100 a piece." And that was a big help. I bought 4 of them and got the new charge controller in so that the system could handle it. Still got the same. Well, I've replaced the batteries once, but they're still the Walmart deep cycle boat batteries. And yeah, the cost is up there. And the way I was doing it before, I was going through, I want to say 25 gallons of gas every month and a half. And that was, a little more than I wanted to, because we had to run the generator in the winter, which we'll have to run it in the winter still, but just in order to charge the battery, get the batteries up and make coffee and stuff. But now that we have a system today, it's been cloudy and rainy all day, and I haven't even thought about electricity really, other than checking it when I made the coffee this morning. I went in to see how it took the batteries down to from 12.4 when I woke up this morning. We were making 30 watts. We were charging with 30 watts of power from the panels, and it took it down to 11.6 while the heating element was on, and then it went right back up to 12.4 again, right once it went to the pour cycle. So yeah, it can be, but like you said, if you just take and do a little bit at a time. I mean, we did a drastic change. We went from a 2,500 square foot house down to 1,200. Well, it's a 32 by 32 cabin, and we did some drastic changing, and we really had to change our mindset to electricity is a commodity that you have to keep an eye on. You have to always be thinking, okay, did I leave the light on in the pantry, which I do often, and blame it on Wendy. But
Well, she's not listening anyway.
She's got my headphones on watching Hulu.
Oh. Yeah, and you said something pretty interesting there when you talked about, like doing just a little bit at a time. I think that's the big secret to everything. If you ever want to accomplish anything that, like, from what we do, I'm sure Mike, you probably do the same thing. It's just every day you have a new plan, you try to move towards the plan. There's always something coming up, but then again, you'll go around it, and you still have the same goal of being as self-sufficient as possible, but it's always just one step at a time.
Yep, it's always, every day is one step at a time. Like when we wake up, we always have the normal stuff that we do every day. And I don't know how, I don't know how any other homesteader has time to do it, but we always find time to add that one extra little new project in that takes so long to get done, but as we always do it right and make sure it gets done, but we always have time for it. So we own our own business. We do homeschool here. Plus we do some market farming on the side, some tiny bit stuff like that, and find time to do small projects while we have all the chickens and stuff to take care of, and egg production is crazy. I don't know how we do it, but she finds new stuff to do, and I try to find the time to build it and do it. But it's all one slow step at a time.
Yeah. We started out with chickens, the gateway animal. And then next thing I knew, I was doing bees, and we've always gardened. We lived on, well, when we were in an apartment, we were gardening, and the landlady let us garden in back behind the parking lot. You just keep adding that up. the canning. We even if you can't grow it, you can buy it. I've got a video that I've got to make yet for the apartment homesteading series that we buy these big gallon jugs of not Velveeta cheese, the nacho cheese, and put that into pint jars. And then when we make our salsa in the fall, I take a thing of salsa and a pint of salsa and a pint of cheese, mix them together, and I got con queso.
I hear you. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Do you put a lot of food back by the end of the season? I mean, do you put like a bunch back?
Oh yeah. I try to have. I mean, our pantry's not huge, but Wendy keeps having me build more and more shells all the time. Cheese whiz we have here for Philly cheesesteaks. Yeah, there you go. I love the Philly
1%. That 1%. If you can just get that 1%, it will add a lot. There's a lot of homes that that 1%.
And even if you don't go 1% every day, just 1% every month.
Yeah.
Anything you do. I don't think anybody really reaches total self-sufficiency. I think back in the depression and stuff, I don't think people hit self-sufficiency fully, but it's something to work towards, you know. And that's just a little bit more. This year, plan a little bit more of this. Next year we plan on that. We planted our expanded our orchard here, and we really probably won't see anything from that for a couple years anyway. 2 or 3 years we won't see any fruit, because apparently you gotta clip off the flowers or the fruits as they start during the first couple years, just to let the plant the trees
Get stronger.
Yeah, I don't like that idea. I want fruit.
But yeah, like the way I do it is actually like every, in the spring, I think Canadian Tire should start having their fruit trees soon. This time of year, I just go and buy maybe just one tree, because I just can't wait to go get that one tree. But then at the end of the season, they all go on sale, so they have all the leftovers. And since people don't really know much about trees, they pick the ones that are out of dormancy. So when you go at the end of May and the beginning of June, the dormant ones are still there, or maybe the ones that are not as good looking, and those are the ones that I pick. You get them for like $10. Just plant them and see what happens. I mean, you got nothing to lose.
Yeah. There is nothing wrong with being frugal at all. Because that is, I mean, we have a change jar. It takes us about a year to get up to $70-$80, and we use that. My birthday's in January, Wendy's is in February, and we go out to eat in between them to celebrate our birthday. There's nothing wrong with being frugal at all. I hate spending money, but I seem to do a lot of it. I don't know why.
It's hard.
Well, again, I'm going to be brave enough to say one of the reasons why is because I'm married.
Yeah. I'll agree with that, because my wife's got headphones on right now.
And I'm not married yet.
But going back on that completely self-sustainable, there's a lot of people here, especially on the YouTube part, that's leaning more towards if things was to go south, building a community, because a lot of people's realizing being completely self-sustainable, it's almost impossible for you to be able to produce everything you need, plus the tools you're going to need to be able to do all that. Completely is a really hard word to say. And people starting to rely on communities so they can get back into the trade, and bartering, and bartering and support system like that is a really big help, regardless of where things go, it's always really good because we benefit a lot from it here in our community.
Yeah, we did a lot of talking when we lived in the house in Port Leyden. We did a lot of talking with some friends and neighbors and stuff about that. What happens if this goes down or whatever? And we basically, I want to say preppers. We were prepping, but it was more of a lifestyle of being prepared as opposed to the TV show preppers. That gave everybody a boy, these people are nuts, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they're over the top, but then again, something
And again,
happens.
yeah, basically, I think the preps, the homesteading lifestyle, kind of prepares you for all that stuff. No matter, you know, if the grid goes down or the economy collapses, if nothing else, just a general knowledge. Um, I started out doing pigs in the summer because I wanted to know how to raise pigs. One day, I'm going to butcher my own pig, not because I have to, but so that I know that I can do it. You know, I mean, I can butcher a deer, and I know there are big differences in them, but but just having that knowledge, Pinterest and YouTube and all that's great, but if they disappear, we
You're
want to
stuck.
have that knowledge. um that's why with all the herbal books and stuff like that, I try to get hard copies of them, because there's a wealth of knowledge on the internet, but if the internet goes bye-bye or we get kicked off it because we haven't, how do I say this, we haven't had a shot, so they won't let us social distance like this.
I think they all go hand in hand, though, don't you? Though, like eventually, like homesteaders, preppers, outdoorsmen, trappers, thing like that. Eventually, it kind of all goes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of learned a lesson on that when we had all this big, crazy, virus coming out or whatever. So we live right here. Of course, we're way off in the country, but our main highway goes straight through the Capitol and everything. So when it was shut down, regardless of how much money you had, I think we might have talked about this earlier in the test, but it doesn't matter how much money you got if you can't go get food. And so see, when we moved here, we were switching homesteads, and everything that we had already had from the cabin we had before had been depleted here because we had moved, setting everything up. Took about a year to get everything moved over and then started getting the soil back. You know how it goes when you go. So all the stuff we brought with us, we had just like our canned goods and stuff. We just depleted it over that time. And I was like, it's okay. We're here. We'll get everything established. We got a little more land. We'll put it back faster. Then this thing hit. And we didn't have a lot at all. But we did have some in the freezer. But like you couldn't buy meat anywhere at all. So after about 3 weeks' time, we had to. Like we didn't have a choice. We had money. There was nothing open. And we resorted back to, Dad's old traps in the shop, going out, setting them up. And we lived off rabbit, fish over the pond, lake over here, right behind. We can walk to it. And really, other than, just not knowing what was going on or what was going to happen, we was fine as far as the food, but we had to do a little more work. And I had to do, teaching everybody because we hadn't really done that part. The homesteading, it's just always been a way of life. We ain't never really considered being homesteaders because we've always had a garden and chickens and
yeah.
But I think it all goes hand in hand. Eventually, we just never really used that part of the trapping and all that stuff. But it's always good to have that knowledge, and we have a lot of those people connected with us on the channel because always good to be able to get you food when nobody else is going to provide it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we're so dependent of like society, electricity, and I mean, just here a couple of years ago, I think it was 2015, 2016, in the Acadian Peninsula, about an hour and a half from here, they had some freezing rain and they were out of electricity for like 2 weeks, and it was almost the end of the world. Like everybody around the province had to gather up and bring them some firewood and some food and some clothing and some medication, and I mean, would just have electricity. Like you don't have firewood nearby. Like to go cut a tree and put it in the, like you have an oven somewhere or like a fire. Just put a fire, cook on it. I mean, you have snow. You don't need a freezer. Like you don't need a TV to survive. Just do what you have to do.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, I love my TV, but if it comes down to it, I mean, I'll get rid of it.
Well, yeah, I've hunted since, oh my goodness, I was like 7 years old when my stepfather took me hunting for the first time, and but I've never had to depend on that as my sole source of food. I've never had to depend on my garden for my sole source of food, which I'm very thankful for. But it was, and I'm a little prideful here that, man, when everything was going crazy, people were in the stores trying to get as much toilet paper as they could. That was the big thing that went bad here, was toilet paper disappeared.
It was the same all over.
We've always, we've always stocked up like 2-3 months ahead, just because you never know what's going to happen. I know, Remy, you're in New Brunswick, and you're in North Carolina.
Yep.
And here especially now that we're on the Tug Hill Plateau, when I was growing up, we used to get 4 or 5 foot of snow before they would close school. And these storms would come in all at once. So my mom and dad were always prepared, just in case the kids were going to be home for an extended amount of time, just so it doesn't affect us that way. We don't have to be afraid.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. My doctor and I, I was talking to my doctor the other day, and she asked me if I wanted to get one of the vaccines, and I told her, I said, I don't really have a deficiency of vaccine. God gave me an immune system, so I don't need a booster, but it's something that I consider if Wendy needed it, Hey, Back to Basics Homestead. How's it going?
Hey, thank you for joining. So how about you, Raymond? Did y'all get any shortages? Like, are you still experiencing like jars and stuff like that? It's starting to come back a little bit, but it's still really hard to get our hands on stuff like that.
The only shortage we've had, I mean, like everyone else, we've had toilet paper. At some point, the stores were requiring us to just take like one of each, like one bag of milk and one bag of bread. But I mean, with 5 kids, bag of milk doesn't last very long. After one day, it was gone. I had to go back to the store, and you're trying to not travel as much, not see as many people because of the virus situation. They're asking us to stay home as much as possible, but then again, they're asking us to go to the store like 7 times a week. But it didn't last very long, maybe like a couple of weeks, where we had to go and try to just buy one, like I said, one bag of bread, one bag of milk. We've had some toilet paper issues also here, but it wasn't as bad. Like we didn't miss anything, or like we didn't go out on anything.
The jars are ridiculous here. We still can't find them on lids, or even worse.
Oh yeah.
We were in Runnings, which is one of my favorite stores. It's like Cabela's and Gander Mountain and Tractor Supply and the feed store all put into one super center. It's an awesome place. And they haven't had jars in so long. All of their orders came in at once, and they just got rows and rows of jars. We ought to pick some up and send some to you,
Yeah. Now that you're mentioning it, we had issues with mason jars here as well.
Yeah. We when we moved from the house in Port Lyden, we left our canned goods there because we could go down and get them as we needed. And we had an early freeze, and there was no heat in the house because it was empty. And I had shut all the water off and everything. And so we had a choice to go ahead and um, empty out each jar, which would be a stinky mess after two, because we left them there for 2 years. But so I said, well, you know what? It's $12 for 12 canning jars. No big deal. We'll just buy more when we need it. That whole American mentality. I'll just buy more when I need it. Well, and then the jars started running low, and I'm like, oh man, talk about learn a lesson there. I don't think it's like guns. I've never sold one of my guns. I sold my bow years and years ago when I was a teenager. I sold my bow. I'll never sell another gun. I'll never sell another bow unless I replace it immediately. I'll never sell another can or get rid of another canning jar unless something's wrong with it.
Yeah, because if there's one thing we can count on, I mean, hunting is a big part of survival, regardless of where you live, because you can't always have a garden. Like if something goes wrong tomorrow, my garden is far from being ready. I mean, I still had like a feet of snow 2 weeks ago, so I can't plant anything until at least the end of May. I mean, I'm not gonna have any fruits. I'm not gonna have any veggies for at least 2 or 3 months. But if something happens, I can always go and get a bear or get a. We don't have much deers around here, but we can get a moose. We can get some partridge. We can get rabbits. We can. There's always something in the woods that we can eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not ideal, but I mean, at
I
this time,
worry about my general area in New York because we got a lot of, well, we're pretty much all rednecks unless you live in one of the little cities. And everybody says, well, if everything goes down, I'm gonna I'll hunt for food. Well, the only thing you're gonna find in the woods if you get 200,000 people out there is people.
yeah.
So it's but the thing is learning how to preserve it. I mean, we got a propane refrigerator, but with that's one reason why we put such an emphasis on canning, is because I might not be able to get propane one day, and if the propane runs out, then I have to have a way of preserving food. Refrigeration. I'm going to once we get big enough, I'm going to try big enough on the solar side of things. I'm gonna try to get a small chest freezer, because with the Energy Star stuff that is out there now, a lot of times you can get the freezers that will run off at like our well pump. The only thing different between our submersible well pump and a normal one is it starts off slow. It doesn't have that immediate peak draw that a lot of electronics have when you first turn them on.
Something Rim says when it all goes like he would just hop up and go hunt. That's awesome. I'm proud to be part of the small percentage like us here on the panel that's able to go out and do that. But I think that's why a lot of people, especially the preppers, is getting like a little more loud and trying to spread the word, is because a lot of people don't have that knowledge. They can't just go out and trap and hunt because the people just like him is going to already know what to do. They're already prepping and canning and having meat put up now. A lot of more guys are just homesteaders or whoever's learning how to breed their own meat now. So because they also know no matter how good you can hunt, the guys like Remy that know what they're doing is going to go out and mostly they're going to wipe it out first. And like you said, with that many people in the woods, it's going to deplete fast. then it's all going to go back to that knowledge of knowing how to go right back to your house and do it right there again, which is, again, why I'm so proud to be part of the community that we have, because not everybody has that knowledge. I guess if you grow up in it, it's just like, I guess, the common knowledge, but it's amazing. The more, like when I got on the community, just talking to people, it's amazing the misknowledge or none at all of some of the stuff, like even down with eggs. It's almost unsafe that the people just don't know and haven't been educated a lot. And if they had, it's not exactly the safest way to do things. So knowledge is awesome, and it's best to go ahead and get it now and start practicing while you can.
Yeah.
Prep,
Yeah. It never fails to surprise. We started selling our eggs to friends at church, and they were like, "Well, how do you keep them from going? How long will they keep in the refrigerator?" And I said, "A long time, months, because the average dozen of eggs that you buy in the store has been on the shelf or in process. It was laid a month or two ago." And with our eggs, we don't refrigerate them or clean them until we're ready to deliver them. And if there's some people who want them that we don't even clean them for, because they want that bloom on there that protects the egg. Because eggs will last a long time, but you got to be careful. When we had the chicks in here, we had it so warm in here, we tried to keep it up a little ways, and we got a new wood stove, so it's we're learning how to use that, but it got up to like 80 degrees, and I'm thinking that one of our eggs started developing while it was sitting on the thing. So my brother, thank God it was just my brother that got it. But he says, "Tracy, I got a baby chicken," he says, "in one of the eggs." I said, "Well, gee, we charge more for that."
The bloom is one thing that a lot of people don't know about when it comes to egg storage, especially the people like to try to do it in lime water. They'll wash the bloom line off, and that's the biggest failure when people still use it thinking it's okay, get sick as crap. And it's the one little thing a lot of people don't know about when it comes to egg storage. If you don't have that bloom, you really ain't got no storage when it comes to your eggs, because you washed it all off.
Yeah.
Yes, it was back to basics. A lot of stuff has been lost over time.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Just tracking a deer. I remember stories of my Uncle Dick. He would go out and get on the track. He'd find a track, and he could tell it was a buck, and he would track it. Sometimes my cousin Rhonda said they didn't see him for days. He'd sleep under a tree, but he could tell when the buck was getting ready to lay down. And I don't have that kind of, now I can tell, okay, this is a fresh track, this is kind of old, whatever. But he could tell what mood the deer was in as he tracked it. Do I need to back off? Am I getting too close? Stuff like that. And that kind of knowledge is it's just, except for there are certain, I know on Facebook I'm a member of a bushcraft page, and that type of stuff it's making a resurgence, but I'm wondering if we'll ever recover everything that they knew. It's kind of sad, really, because it's there are places. I believe it was Florida a few years ago. There was a court case where somebody wanted to live off grid, and they said, you can live off grid, but you have to have electric. You have to have power running to your house. You don't have to use it, but you have to have it there. And that basically doesn't make sense to me, but.
Right. There's some quirky stuff going on here too, like in our city, not where I live. they don't get to really tell a lot of us rule what to do. But in the city, if you're caught catching rainwater, let's say like my brother, he lives in the city, and he took his gutters from the building and ran it into one of those plastic 55-gallon drums and set up a catch system. At the bottom was a faucet in there. And the city told him that there was a new law that you could not catch rainwater and use it for your garden or animals, and started making him pay a fine the whole time he was catching it. And that law is still in effect today for the city. You cannot catch water. Even though it's just for your animals in your garden, you can't catch water, period. They want you to pay that water bill.
Yeah. When we moved up here, I had the water shut off to the house in Port Leyden. We were lucky. We paid $60 every quarter for our water, and they had meters in, but they didn't use them. When they took $20 off the bill after we shut the water off, but every quarter, even we had to pay $40 for the privilege of having that possibility of having, even when no one was in the house. So we were only paying $20 for water. It was the privilege of having it,
They want us to pay for everything. I mean, you can't, even if you wanted to have a life off grid, you have to pay property taxes. I don't know how bad the taxes are in the States, but here in Canada, I have 2.5 acres here, and it cost me around $1,600 a year. I don't know if that's close to what you guys pay or not, but I mean, I can't imagine myself living off grid having to pay that much. You have to sell a lot of stuff to get $1,600 a year. It's not much money when you think of it, but if you're not working and you want to be homesteading full time, you have to be able to manage your money very well.
Exactly.
Yeah. We've got 20 acres, and we pay around 13 in the fall, and I think it's 200 or 300 in June. That's not the property taxes for here are 1,300 for 20 acres. But I don't know. They keep saying that I keep having people tell me, well, New York State and the federal government have a thing. If you're solar, you can get a big tax break. And I'm kind of hesitant to go for it, because anytime you go to the government and say, I'm doing this, then you're going to the government and giving them the ability to say, you got to stop doing that,
The less they know, the better.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's worth it to me to stay below the radar for the most part.
Yeah, but yet here we are sharing everything on YouTube.
Yeah. You got to make sure you're doing everything on the up and up. It was funny when we were building, the building inspector, the nicest guy you'll ever meet, but he tried to friend both of us on Facebook. I said, nah, we weren't doing anything untoward or anything, but it was just one of those things that I said, nah, I think we don't want to be that close to the guy who can pull our permits. But now lumber, oh my gosh.
Yeah, ridiculous.
It is. I bought to build the stand for my solar panels, for my new solar panels. I got 4 4x4s, 2 16-foot treated 2x4s, and 3 2x4 8-footers, and it cost me over $200.
Wow.
It's just insane. And I'm not totally sure why the prices went up. They say COVID. Man, not a whole lot of loggers I know are being too affected by COVID. I think it's some policy changes on federal land and state land and stuff. they're not letting them in there.
What's it like where you at, Remy? On lumber,
Uh,
the wood and prices on lumber right now where you're at in your area.
I remember paying, I think it was $13 for a piece of plywood, and I think it's around $40 now. I mean, it's crazy. And not only that, but the government passed a law where you have to get if you have your own sawmill, you have to get it registered with the province or whatever. So you have to pay regardless of what you do. You try to do something by yourself to save some money, but then you can't build anything over a certain size without having them put their stamp on it. So we're losing no matter what.
Yeah, it's crazy here too. A friend of mine's building a house, and he works too. So the lumber they had for the foundation, I think they was waiting on him to cut down something out here so they could come in and start working, right? So they put his lumber on hold, and he come over here. He was all mad. He come over on his dirt bike, and he was like, they caught him the other day and told him that every week he waits, that they have to wait for him to clear the land off, and they come out here and build to put the lumber up. Every week they wait is an extra $2,000 that they're having to add on because lumber is going up that much.
Hey, it's crazy.
On his load that's coming in, so it's $2,000 up every week, and he gets a new write-in. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy that there was a movie I watched years ago about a guy who had his own sawmill, and his wife had a disease and she couldn't go up the stairs, so he was building them a smaller house to retire in, milling his own lumber and everything, and he kept getting cease and assist orders. Went to court, and he said, listen, I learned I don't need a stamp on, because they were supposed to come in and stamp his lumber before he could use it. And he says, my grandfather, who taught me how to do this, was a shipwright. He milled for ships. He says, my lumber is better than anything you buy in the store. And it was a big fight. Finally, the judge, caught on to what was going on. It was a young inspector, and the judge says, listen, you're not going to jail. Finish your house, but please turn in, when you're done building, let them inspect,
Earth Day, that's awesome, Ethan. I'm glad they're doing something.
Yeah.
They're starting to change a lot of things that they do now. They got a new CEO and everything. They're starting to get a little bit more attached to local communities, which I think is pretty awesome. So that's pretty good. as much as they're charging, you should be able to give away something for free.
Right?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
But still, all jokes aside, that's nice. But at least they're trying to, seems like they're trying to make a change toward helping at least local people in the community. Anyway.
Yeah. And I gotta say, my truck is down right now. I put a new CV joint in it, and while we were putting a new CV joint, we found that the coil spring was broke. And somewhere along the course, we ended up pulling out a small piece of the coil spring. And on the way home, the coil spring came off the hanger and ate up the boot on the new CV shaft. And I forgot where I was going with that. I really did. Oh, but I had to have the lumber delivered. And I mean, we are 5 miles, 6 miles maybe from the Lowe's. And they charged us $70 for delivery.
Oh yeah, I have a tons of these shirts. Way back in the day, my wife was a big project coordinator in the big corporate office part of Lowe's. She handled all the big in-home projects that was over $250,000. But we had our own business going and it blew up. So she don't work there anymore, but we got loads of shirts. So we use them for gardening and everything. So, but yeah. No, you guys watch TV? Because I can't even tell you guys the last time I watched a real TV channel. It's I don't know. It's either YouTube, Odyssey, or all the apps listed right there for movies. That's it.
Yeah.
I have a TV in each and every kid's bedroom, and I have one in my bedroom and one in the living room. I just love hockey too much. I can't stop watching hockey. It's not gonna last very long though, because my team's not doing good right now. But I don't know. I just like sports in general, so that's pretty much the only thing that gets me to keep a TV for. But I like watching like all the Marvel movies and stuff. So I.
Oh yeah, we got a TV in every room. It's just as far as like mainstream media, local TV. It's usually just Odyssey, YouTube, and Netflix or something like that for all the new movies. But I ain't watched TV. What about you, Mr. Hay? When's the last time you actually watched local TV other than weather or something like that?
Local TV?
Yeah, I mean, just turning on the TV like we used to back in the day and just watching the TV channel.
My TV is actually down behind one of the couches. We watch all of our stuff on YouTube or on laptop because it's just me and Wendy. When the grandkids come every once in a while, I'll hook up the TV because it's bigger and all that. But yeah, Hulu, Netflix,
Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus is big, especially for the grandkid. Well, I'm kind of into the Star Wars stuff, and but yeah, if there are any good movies coming out, my brother will invite me down to his place. We watched Godzilla versus King Kong the other day. That was pretty good. But yeah, local news, local weather, I get on my phone.
They're always wrong anyway. The weather is always off.
Yeah.
They can't even say what it's doing right now. So far from predicting what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah. But I am proud to say, though, with all those TVs, we have PlayStation 4, virtual reality, and 9 times out of 10, my kids don't use any of it. They're outside right now. They won't even come in till nighttime, and most of the time it's a movie, and they hop on the bed from being tired and just watch the movie. I even say, we spent money on that. You could play it at least once a month. But I mean, I'm actually happy they do use it some. Like when friends come over and stuff, they're like, "Hey, turn it on and let's play," and they will. But most of the time, I'm proud to say, but we got TV in every room, but everybody's using the old apps.
Yeah.
My wife loves Star Wars.
What's that?
Star Wars. He just said Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. I said, yeah, my wife loves Star Wars.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. Star Wars is he was before his time, man. On YouTube at 11 every night. Yeah. We don't hate me. We watch Fox and Friends in the morning. It's usually half an hour after it plays. But then it's hard on YouTube because you've got this one guy, I think he's in India, but he shuts the sound off on the news and then he tells you what it's saying. And it drives me nuts. I'm like, dude, come on. And then there are copyright things and stuff, so they got to block out different things. Like they were doing there was a unfortunate shooting in down south somewhere, and they were showing the footage from the body cam, and they had to block that out. They just put a picture of Donald Trump on it. So all the news nowadays is biased, whether it's biased conservative or biased liberal. They're just not hiding it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
It's always bad news anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get depressed watching that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Exactly, which is exactly why we are not connected. We're connected to the outside world, but not that way.
Right.
If we're going to get news and stuff like that, we want to make sure it comes from a source that's not going to be paid or pick a side. You know what I'm saying? That's really hard to do unless you have the onion router and you can go where it's not persuade either way, which they're trying to control that too. So we just completely zapped it off from coming in the house, period. So that's why we use the apps.
Yeah. Yeah. I would much rather, go on YouTube and, I don't know, learn how to do anything.
Yeah.
Watch Remy unbox his new inventory.
It was crazy. I came in Monday night and I knew all day I wanted to get that test done with you guys, and then I came home and my girlfriend's like, all the boxes are in the garage. I'm like, what? It's raining outside. Like, pick them up. And I had to go and bring them in, and it took me so long. Like, I went to bed around 11:30, and took a quick shower, and that was it. Like, I came in later, but you guys were gone already. But
yeah, it was a good test. We talked to each other to death, and I was like, well, obviously you did everything right. It's going to work. So, but we lost track of time talking. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike looked up and he said, "We've been talking for an hour."
Well, that's
and then he laughed because it just shocked him. He was like, really? It's pretty cool. It didn't seem like it was maybe 30 minutes.
Right. But yeah. And I think tonight's been a big success too. I really enjoyed
2
tonight.
minutes now, yeah.
Yeah. I've got to do something, I think, because my camera is up here and my screen is down here. And so when I'm watching you guys talk, it looks like I'm ignoring you.
That's my problem. I'm on like a 45-inch monitor, and my camera's sitting on the very top of it, so I have to look up here, but my chat is way down here.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm talking.
It's always the same, yeah.
Oh.
It looks like I'm like just squinting trying to read, but it's just actually trying to get down to the corner because like one corner's up here, the other corner's here. It's big, but I understand what you're talking about. It's kind of, I just pick a spot where nobody's at and make sure
Yeah.
Stay there. Try to stay there.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll look up at the camera and, just kind of nod my head a little.
Too high when I do it, so that's my camera. So I know that's too high. I have to look back. And it's just a big white spot above Remy's head.
You would think with all the technology, they could figure this out.
Yeah, have the camera in the middle of the screen. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
Nobody thought about it, maybe.
I'm going to give me a sticker like my doctor's office asks for the kids to stare at while he checks their eyes, and just put a sticker right on the screen. Everybody uses it back here anyway, except for it's a school computer because we've always did virtual. My kids, I have one kid. Well, all my older kids, I have one that's already getting ready to start driving again. But our kids that's here with us now has never been in a public school. They don't know what it's like. But they went through virtual academy, not this local stuff that they came up with during all the stuff. And it's a big, big difference. But so we had to put every kid had to have their own computer and stuff like that. So we just spidered it in with all the TVs they already had anyway. So I got one back here just for school and YouTube. So I believe it'd be all right. Put a big old sticker or Apple sticker or something right in the middle so I can see. But it is something to think about. The bigger you monitor, the harder it is to try to make sure you're right at it.
Yeah. If I sit back like this, I don't know if you can tell it so much, but I'm a leaner forward. I lean forward a lot, and then when I get up, I can't move my back. Um, thank you, Ethan. He says we're all a bunch of great guys.
Thank you.
Thank
What are
you.
y'all
Yes, thank
doing
you.
right now? You got. I know it's kind of chilly, but I mean, as far as in the ground and growing, you got anything going good right now? Anybody got some stuff growing?
Not yet, not here anyway. Well, I could plant some stuff like spinach and lettuce and stuff like that. It could go out now, but I'm waiting for a friend of mine to come with this tractor tiller and just rotate the soil again. It was my first time last year doing the big garden, and there's still a lot of roots in there. And when he tills it, I can remove the roots, and then I'll go and put some more compost on it and start from there. He told me it was going to come later because most people don't plant now anyway. We still have, I think the last frost date is just like, we usually go in the middle of June, but I think if I look at the almanac, it's somewhere around the 29th or 30th of May. So I'm still far from there. I know there's just a lot of stuff I could plant now, but
Yeah. A lot of
Yeah,
people up here have already got established brassicas like lettuces, cabbages, and stuff like that already established from last year going. And so, what about you? You got anything, Mr. Hand, going?
Um, my kale is coming back from last year. And my asparagus, I saw a new spear up there. Parsley, apparently you can't kill it. And some of Wendy's herbs, the thyme and oregano are coming back. My strawberries are coming back. But then inside I've got peppers and tomatoes and more asparagus. And then I just planted 150 pod container of different flowers, the marigolds to keep the bugs away, and bleeding hearts because they're pretty, and echinacea was.
Yeah, awesome how zones are different. Like that's awesome just to sit and listen because we're rushing to get all of our summer stuff in the ground before it gets too big in the solo cups because a lot of it's got so big now. We've already got little okra pods on it and they're still in cups. We got to hurry up and get it in the ground.
Oh wow!
Our lettuces and stuff is already established and going really good. Our overwinter stuff, but that really big hard cold that came, the garlic took a little hard spell on. I ain't never seen garlic get affected by cold weather. We always put ours in, Thanksgiving, right before the big cold comes. Just throw it in the ground, and I told you about the baking soda trick, so they don't rot. But put it in over winter, and as soon as it freezes, it starts coming up. You know how it is. But that hard frost, man, I ain't never seen it affect garlic like that. It got yellow and folded down a little bit, but 15 years.
You guys don't get much snow, right, down there?
Yeah, no, we're zone 7. I mean, we get it, but we don't have those Canadian weather like winters and stuff like that.
Yeah, a couple of feet here.
We get like -9. Like I'm a weenie after that, man.
It gets close to -40 here sometimes. Fahrenheit.
Yeah, see, that's a whole different breed, man. That's what I'm talking about. I couldn't. You got to be born in that kind of weather.
Oh yeah, because I mean, we get 10 centimeters of snow here, and it's just a normal day. Like we're so used to it, we don't even bother with it. Like unless we have more than a feet, we're good.
Can you imagine somebody from Jupiter, Florida, that's lived out their whole life, moved to where you're at for about a week?
Oh, it'd be hard. Well, we get some people coming in. Like I work at the hospital, and there was this new pharmacist that moved in. It was born in Egypt, I think, and then he moved in New Jersey and went up in Alberta and came here. And he's like, "What kind of winters you guys have here?" I'm like, "Just get ready for the worst. Just get ready for the worst you can imagine, because that's what you're gonna get." But he was lucky that we didn't get as bad weather as we did the last couple of years. Like this winter and the past winter were not that bad. Because I mean, usually we have snow until the beginning of June, and the snow's all gone now, and it's been gone for maybe 2 weeks now.
Yeah, we've had really light winters the past few years. But it's, I don't know, our garlic, I planted it after we had an early frost last fall, and I planted it And then I found out, well, you should wait till Columbus Day here to plant it. So I planted some on Columbus Day, and the stuff that I planted early is up nice and tall. We'll harvest that probably June or July, and but we had another snow after that was all starting to grow, and the later garlic is just starting to come up, and it all seems to be doing good, and that was recovered with probably about 6 inches of snow. Um, and but yeah, winters are getting easier. I think uh, when you're in the warmer climates, your blood is thinner, so it can cool your body faster. And then when you get up north, the farther north you go, the thicker your blood gets to hold in that heat, and they're different colds
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Um, when I lived in Florida, um, man, 40 degrees was freezing. And up here, it starts getting 40 degrees, and
You're
you're
happy spring's
walking
here.
around. Yeah, spring's here. But it is hard because right now I've been looking at my garden since, uh, well, sometime in March, uh, and I can't plant because I know there's going to be frost by, our last frost date. There's a 50% chance on May 15th that there will be frost after that. So, uh, but so I started some indoors and um,
Yeah,
trying to get going there.
you have to. I mean, in our climate, you have to start seeds indoors because otherwise you won't get anything at all. I mean, by the time like you have maybe a month and a half, 2 months, if you're lucky, you have to start indoors.
Hmm.
Like especially with tomatoes and peppers and stuff like that. There, if you don't do it indoors, you're not gonna have anything.
Yeah.
Zone and stuff like that's hard for me. I always sound like a dummy because I always think everybody's in my same zone. We got some really good friends. You probably heard of them, Silhouette Park Farm. They're in Australia,
Think
and
so.
compared to us, they're a pretty big channel. And but we're kind of like a brother and sister channel. We've known each other since we started. And like I say, they're in Australia, so just as when we're getting started in December, their summer's winding down, and I just can't get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they'll hop up and be talking about getting their last harvest and stuff in. I'm like, that's crazy because over here, we're getting ready to. It's just different because I'll be asking them questions like there was the competition that was coming up for the garden, and I was asking if they was going to get in it, and he kind of just looked at me. He's like, "Not really, mate. We're not going to be able to do that until you're not able to do it because when you got your snow on the ground, we're going to be." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't." Just I guess the
Yeah.
connection, everybody being on the screen on the panel talking, I don't think that they're outside with snow on the ground, and I got peas coming up.
Right. Well, yeah. In February, we started getting all these planting my gardens and what am I going to plant and all this stuff. So I did that February garden tour, and we had like 3 feet of snow on the ground still.
I think that's the first video of you I saw.
It
I'm
was
like, that guy understands me. He gets me.
Oh, it it was hard. I embarrassed myself a little bit because I had told them when you fall on snowshoes, you don't fall, you're thrown because when you go, most of the time it's because you've stepped on your other snowshoe. And so when you go to lift your leg, it gives you momentum. And then I ended up falling on that. It was funny. Because after the garden tour, I just went for a little walk in the woods. I needed to check out land anyway. I usually walk our lines 3 or 4 times, but uh, it was fun getting out there snowshoeing, and I used to do a lot of rabbit hunting. And up where we used to hunt, it's on one of the higher points of Tug Hill, and you would be walking, and you'd have these trees that are, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet sticking out of the snow, and the pine trees, and the rabbits love it because in the summer that's all thick, and all of a sudden you'll step on where a bough has kept the snow from piling up underneath it, and that bough will give, and you'll fall down, and you'll be having to literally climb the tree in snowshoes to get out. And it can be pretty scary because it takes a lot of effort to move around in some of that snow.
Yeah.
But oh,
How many of those you got on your channel? Of the falling videos.
falling video? Two.
Yeah.
Two that I know of, yeah.
They
I
seem
got
to
the
be
one.
really good for my wife anyway, like the stumbling, saying things wrong, or tripping and falling. They come to the channel just for her. Pretty popular with her.
Oh,
I just edit it out. You know, she just uploads it and goes on with it. I'm like, you know, you said that wrong. She's like, I know, but we fixed it in text at the bottom of the screen.
yeah,
Whatever works, it's even more natural that way.
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of people say they like the rawness of it. She don't mind the goofiness.
If I took out all my mistakes, I would have to reshoot every video I do. It's hard enough taking out my ums. My brain is an brain.
Yeah, unless I messed up bad in what I'm saying, I'm not starting over. I'll just
click it out, take two.
Yeah.
You don't realize the ums until you hit yourself on the video. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many ums I put in a sentence until I had to take them out.
Yeah.
You start with 30 minutes of video and end up with like 8.
Really, I've seen her going, and then you'll catch me right when the video starts. I'll catch myself and go, wait, no ums. Try not to say You'll see the little wheels turning, smoke coming out of my ears. The gears will start to turn. And I'll remember, but I at least get 20 in there anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I can't take all mine out, and then I'll be talking, and I'll say something, and I'll go to say it again, but I won't leave a space between them. So it's really hard. I've got to really expand that little piece of video in order to cut that one word out and leave the next word. Oh, I didn't know it was going to be this much work to edit and all that stuff, but I enjoy it. It gives me something to do.
You think you remove that part and you end up on YouTube and someone sends you a message, hey, you said the same word twice. What? I thought I removed it. It's still there.
Yeah.
Or my brother, I can't believe you left that in your background. What are you talking about? You didn't see it? No. Well, you got to go watch that video again. You left something in your background that you shouldn't have. There's nothing there. He's just messing with me.
Yeah, I thought it was to be like, hey, don't take it out. What'd you take it out for? I was like, okay, I'll leave it alone. But they seem to like it, especially with her because she says crazy stuff, mixes all kind of words together, and she'll blah, 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 and then she'll say, hold on, let's start over. But she don't take out the let's start over part, and blah, blah, blah. You know, she just leaves it in there, and I'm like, you know, you left that in there.
Well, bloopers reels have always been.
She's like, it's all right.
It's all fun anyway. It's not like we're on.
It seemed to like it, so I told her just to, you know, when she uploads to her thing.
Yeah. And I keep telling myself that if I ever get as popular as some of those YouTubers out there, I mean, I'll take time to do it then. Like, I got about 1,000 subscribers, and most of them are family and friends, and they don't even watch my videos most of the time. So,
yeah, there was a expose, is what the thumbnail called it, on Doug and Stacy, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and how much they make, and I'm like, man, good for them. They deserve it because it's a lot of work to film everything you do, which he just got hurt. They're building a house for his a cabin for his mom on their homestead, and I don't know how he hurt himself, but he broke several ribs, and they didn't want to go to a doctor, so they went to a chiropractor to get the x-rays done, because there's really nothing you can do for broke ribs anyway. But it was pretty amazing. But all the work they've got to put into their videos, because it just looks so effortless. Hey, they're talking. It's like one smooth conversation. I get little jumps. It drives me nuts with my jump cuts. I get little jumps, like my head will be here and then all of a sudden it'll be here.
Yeah, that's why I've been following the camera since the start of this live stream. I'm trying to get myself in the middle, and if I go that way, oh, too much,
Yeah.
right? I'll put my head. Oh, it's down now. It's all right. But yeah, I mean, some YouTubers, they make what, $300, $400, $500 every video. Some of them make even more than that. They make a couple of $1,000s out of every video. I mean, can you imagine? Like, if I did that, I wouldn't mind like not going to work and spending 12 hours a day making videos.
Well, and the videos, once you get monetized, the videos are making you money all the time, and that's why, like Nick Nimmin, I started the Spreadshirt with the merch, and he said, "Go ahead and do it now." He says, and then once you get bigger, he says, those will be there making you money on the way. And I'm trying to do the affiliate marketing with Amazon. But I don't know. Unless I order the stuff myself, I don't know. Some of the stuff, if I use it in a video, I'm putting it down. I started off putting everyone in my description, and now, unless it's in the video, I'm not going to put it in there. Ooh, you just got red and then white. Oh.
Yeah, but I've been monetized for about a month now, and I think I'm up to like $7. I mean,
Nice.
You don't make that much when you start.
Well, no, I mean, they talk the CPMs there. It's you get so many per 1,000 views, I guess it is. So much, depending on what market you're in and stuff like that. But I don't want to get rich. I just want to, it'd be nice to be able to buy new cameras and stuff like that as I go, and to be able to. But for the most part, like right now, one of my weak spots is retention, probably because of the ums. But so I'm working on my retention and just using. I got this old Android cell phone, and I've got a lapel mic, and I do all my sound on that. I plug the lapel mic into here and stick it in my pocket and record the sound, because the sound on my two cameras stink. But and just doing it as cheap as you can, as good as you can, trying to give people something worth watching when, to me, my life is kind of boring, not Bear Grylls. I'm not Wrangle Star or any of them, but
But it's you always see yourself worse than it really is. That's what you have to tell yourself.
Yeah, you're always your biggest critic.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, just remember, organic growth is always better. I know.
Absolutely.
I know we grew. I mean, we're like not even a year old or just hit a year old, and we grew pretty fast for that. But at the same time, we had a bunch of friends because we don't care about the numbers. When we started this, we'd had a whole different reason to start it. But we would take people and just like on a Sunday, because everybody seemed to, we'd always keep somewhere between 23 and 40 people in the live. So we would just take people and bring them up on the panel, help them get subs and stuff. We've had people get way past us, and like they would just grow and stuff. But the biggest thing that I've seen as far as mistakes go, we've helped some people get up to like 300 subs really quick. And they would you could just see in their lives and listen to some of their videos, they would get frustrated with growth. And I kept trying to tell them, like, you ask yourself, or just go back and watch the very first video you posted and ask yourself why you started that channel. Because they was changing everything around over the numbers. And I was like, it seems like you're doing more damage because you're changing who you are to get to. Don't worry about the numbers, because really most of the time it's not even the people in the first place. It's the analytics. A lot of people didn't even understand the analytics part. But as far as the organic part goes, these people, there's companies and there is legit companies. I don't know if you guys are familiar with TubeBuddy.
Mm-hmm.
There's apps and legit companies just like TubeBuddy that'll send you an email and offer you take over your channel for a couple of months and build it for you. And that company has maybe 5,000-6,000 people working for them, and per how much you pay them, they'll have their people to sub, and they'll go and get you up to a monetized place, legitly, so to speak, and you pay for it. Plus, the people we were helping decided to take that service, and I was trying to say, look, they're going to be able to do it right now. You're just making an analytic happy. When you get monetized, you're going to have actual people looking, and they're going to kind of be able to see what happened. So anyway, we had 3 people that we were helping out that did take that service. I'm not going to say what the name of the service was, but in a matter of 30 days, all 3 of those channels went from less than 150, 300 subs to 1,500 subs. Now they're on all these groups and stuff, and they're really ill because their channel is dead stop. Analytics is almost a straight line. Once they took the channel back over, those services stopped. All those people that did sub stayed with the number, with the sub part, but they left. There's no more views. And it seemed to hurt it way worse. So I just say, if you get frustrated, ask yourself why you started that channel for in the first place. You're not the only person that is interested in that type of content. Once one person sees what you do and love it, I promise that one person will help you grow. It may not be the growth you expect right off the bat, but organic growth is what you're looking for. Try not to look at the numbers so much, but how many people is constantly coming and checking you out. The steady followers is what I think I'm most proud of. We got people that won't miss a live, don't miss commenting or liking a video. So that to me is more important than just pushing that number out there, because that number is going to come if the organic part's right. I promise.
Mm-hmm. You are a very wise man.
Absolutely.
That is very true.
I've seen some of that stuff, the pay for subs and stuff like that. And I mean, we did a Wendy's birthday giveaway, and I don't think that generated us 10 more subs. It was horrible, but we got to meet some people, and I think because of that, it didn't hurt our organic growth. It got some people to look at the channel, and some of them stayed, but we might do it every year just for Wendy's birthday, but I don't want to, that whole thing. I want to grow organically. I want people who are interested in what I'm putting out there.
That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. The people that want to be, that love what you do, they're automatically going to come back, whether it's just once a week or once a month. And that's the steady growth that you're going to get paid for. That's what makes analytics happy in the first place. Mm-hmm. So it's still all about the organics, really.
Having fun?
Yeah. I'm just playing around with StreamYard, seeing what I can do. But yeah, my brother, he says, I like watching it just to see you mess up, just to see if he busts my chops a lot. But
your reason's good.
Yeah, I don't care why you watch. Just keep watching.
You want to watch to laugh at me? Go ahead. It's a view.
Absolutely. Just remember, the best jokes are at the end of the video.
Yep.
Anyway, that's where we decided to put out her stuff at the end of the video. Mm-hmm. I think the way they change it though helps guys out, because it's not really the clicking so much anymore as the retention rate. And once they change that part, it helps smaller channels like us grow a little bit faster, because that organic growth that is planted there, those people that are watching steadily, gives us a shot with the big channels, because just because of that, I remember one time we had a 85% retention rate, and I'm not going to say what channels compared to that to was, but for that 3 months, it was pretty awesome because the analytics was chunking our videos out there like just as big as it was the big guys. I'd be excited. Look, our stuff's on the ad. Look, our stuff's over here, and so it's just the retention rate alone. That's why I like the organic growth. You got somebody loves what you're doing. They just keep watching it. That retention rate being changed from helping us out versus not however many clicks you're going to get. That helps us little guys out a whole lot.
Yeah. True. And I do a lot with the TubeBuddy SEO to get found in search.
That's a good thing. That's a good tool.
Well, it also lets YouTube know what my video's about, because I had when my well went dry in the middle of winter in February, I posted that video, and because it mentioned water not coming to my house, it suggested my video in, I can't remember the guy's name. He's a huge channel. But it suggested my video on his channel, and or on his video for Welcome to My New House. And the guy just bought a mansion because of his YouTube. He's one of the ones that hit the unicorn. But his channel was, it's got monster trucks running over, jumping over cars in his backyard and stuff. And they've grown organically and everything. But people would click on my video. I was getting, holy cow, 600-700, views, and people were clicking on it thinking it had something along the lines of him, and then they'd see me, and I had got that hockey stick where it just, phew, this is not what we expected. But it looked good for a while, but I was glad when it was 28 days behind me, so that I didn't have to worry about seeing that big artificial balloon or whatever spike.
I think TubeBuddy's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I call it my little spy tool, because if you don't do anything else with TubeBuddy, you can go to somebody else's channel and see every hashtag they've used. You can see all the views. You can see a lot of stuff about their channel that they probably wouldn't want you to see in the first place, but it's there. And you can use it. You can go to like big people like Stony Ridge Farmer, and when you go to his homepage, it has everything he put in there to make his SEO search score as big as it is. And you can just copy and paste them. The problem with that is you got to make sure your video is straight in line with what he's doing, so it's not a good idea. But you can see how they've set up that score in the video, and it'll help you learn some. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Remy and I were talking about I showed him the keyword search or Explorer and a little bit of the SEO, because I'm telling you, it is just amazing. Once you get it searchable, you can start actually ranking in, if you hit within the first 200 of search page, then I consider myself doing really good. And then you get suggested on the right video, and I think it could really blow up your channel.
Yeah, it's helped us a lot. I love it. It's helped us a bunch. Like the little thing where you go, you can click on every video and it'll show you the SEO score per video. Yeah, we used TubeBuddy and went back and made sure, so you can use your TubeBuddy and go check mine out. But we made sure every video we have has at least 95 or 100 SEO score, and every one of them does, and it's all because of TubeBuddy's scoring system.
Yeah. I've also got this keywords everywhere, and that gives you it gives you the keywords and how many searches it's the keywords that they use and how many searches per month or whatever there are on those keywords.
Right.
I was telling Remy that apartment homesteading video I did, a lot of my views come from that search term, apartment homesteading. Um, it's just phenomenal the way that goes. And then there are videos that I'm getting traffic from, the suggested on videos. I don't understand it. It tells me that um oh, Norris, she's a gardener, but she's out west. What's that?
Melissa Morris.
Yeah, Melissa Morris, I believe. Yeah, Melissa K. Norris. Um,
Morris.
and it says that I'm getting traffic from a card on one of her videos. I can't find. I watched that video, and I can't find the card on it. I'll take the traffic. We've
Sure.
watched her forever anyway. Um, but it is just amazing how this thing works. And it's one of those things like, I started, if you watch my earlier videos, I started it as a kind of a place for, because we take kids to camp, and our we got a group called Life's Hope Ministries, and we take kids to a camp in Scroon Lake, New York, and I started it just to store those videos, and so that the kids could go watch those videos. I'd give them the link, and they would watch those videos. There are only a couple on there, and then I said, well, I got grandkids now. I want them to know, which they've got a beautiful farm. My daughter and son have done amazing. Son-in-law have done amazing things on their farm. And so the kids they got chores. They got to go take care of the horses and the donkeys and the pigs and all that. So I started out saying, listen, I don't want what God has given me and what my father passed down to me. I don't want to lose all that stuff. And then in January, I said, you know what? I'm going to try to actually put some effort into YouTube and see if I can't, actually do something with it and maybe make an extra income, but more just share the lifestyle, because YouTube's given me a lot of the stuff we do. It's hard because I'm thinking, where did I learn this? Whose video was it that I learned how to, do this, because I don't want to rip anybody off. But there's, what was it? Rain Country with the apple cider vinegar and all. We've learned a lot from them. And just with the preserving stuff and the vacuum sealing and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff we do comes from YouTube.
Yeah, we love the support system. That's why we started the Garden Gurus hashtag not long ago. It's really crazy fast already. But that hashtag has got a whole lot of you can just click on that and learn a lot of stuff. I think it's I don't know, maybe I'm 3 weeks old. The website is and everything, and it's got I think the support system alone and being able to benefit from it locally. Like just when we started that thing, we'd been looking for elderberry for like a year and a half, just for the stuff that was. You can order it, of course, but it comes in sticks, like a little shaving stick, and you got to propagate. You got to do it all yourself, But to find it working here, to be able to work so good in Arizona, and then find cuttings of it, it was like finding a needle in a haystack. It'd been years. So when we got in Garden Gurus, we also got into Club Carolina. You're our local club, and it was about a week and a half. We had already had 6 full-blooded 10-inch black elderberry plants, American black elderberry, not the Russian kind. Mm-hmm. We offered to pay for them. They was delivered free right to my door from another member of Club Carolina. Now we're going to propagate because another club, a member that's in Garden Gurus, had been looking for it longer than we had, and now they're going to get more than they need. So just that little bitty part alone, we've benefited from more than anything else, really. So I mean, the community is great, but when you can narrow it down to where it's right here, local support system, like we have 12 people now, and with just a month, in just a month's time, we've worked it out to where we got 12 people in our area. We can drive anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour and reach every one of them. And we already have met up with half of them already. So I think that part's the greatest, is the support system is awesome.
I did join the Garden Gurus, but I'm not 100% sure how it works yet. I was recruited by Hickory Croft Farm.
Yes, that's why when I came in, I was like, Rims, thank you for being a guru. You don't have to use the hashtag. A lot of people use it to learn how to grow food instead of posting videos, and that's just fine. But Hickory Croft is going to be one of the top clubs in that thing. They have a lot of knowledge, and they're teaching like the people that come in their clubs. It just aren't people that know how to grow. These people got so much knowledge, it just spiders down like a little. It's like an umbrella system, and the people that are learning is sharing, and then they're putting up videos, and it's just turned into a. You don't really have to use it; just use the hashtag and go learn. And then when you learn something, or if you make a video, and it's how to grow something, just put the hashtag Garden Gurus in it. Remy, your site is on there 2 different times, so when people go visit the website, they'll see your channel and click on it. It's another way for them to find you for using the hashtag. I'll put THan141 on there. It's a website. It's just the You Grow Food. Tracy, if you want to find it, it's the letter U, growfood.com. You click on members and you can find channels there. If you click on clubs, there's clubs there. So I'll put your channel up there. It'll help when people go to the website, your channel, they'll click on the button and it'll take you to the YouTube channel. And I'll put you in a few other places and try to help out. But
I think
pretty big.
I think I'll need to start a club, though. I think I was like put under the Ontario group for some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I noticed it sent me a message, but I don't know. I'm not sure where I have to go now. But I'm gonna try to have some time this weekend. I didn't have much time lately. But
it's totally up to you, Bob. If you wanna be in the club, so you don't like a lot of people's like, well, I don't even want to take time to start one. If I got one close to me, I'll just jump in with them. CJM Farms, and he's in Toronto. He wants to be in a club and learn because he really wants to grow some food, but he just don't want to start a club. I was like, you don't have to. He's like, well, there's nothing local. So Hickory Croft was like, hey, just post videos and we'll put you in our club. And when one opens up in Toronto, I was like, don't leave, just join the other one too. You can join more clubs than one. But if that's not the way we had it broke down was so you could find people in your area and learn better. If you can hang with them, if you want to start a club, you can. If you don't, you can just use the hashtag until there's a club open up you want to join. You just work it the way you want to,
And how do you just go to yougrowfood.com and sign up? Okay.
Yeah.
And then when I do a video, do hashtag guru or
Garden Gurus, all one word, just lower caps, hashtag Garden Gurus. And just make sure it's a tutorial on teaching people how to grow food. There ain't no time limit, no rules, nothing like that. Just if you're showing people how to grow food, or it has something to do with growing food, or even if you're canning and putting up food, use the hashtag Garden Gurus, and it's going to go in a hashtag with all these other channels. Now, guys, listen, we have Dan Permaculture. We have channels on there that's got 10, 15, 20,000 subs using that same hashtag.
Awesome.
Dan Permaculture just left a comment on my video talking about how much he learned from us. That guy's got like 6,000 or 8,000 subs and very active on YouTube. So it's a big support system, and you don't have to be in the club at all. You could just use hashtag Garden Gurus on your DIY, and it'll go in there with everybody else's videos. However, if you want a tool like TubeBuddy that you can use that spiders out to every other social media you got, like Facebook, Odyssey, and all that other stuff, the yougrowfood.com, you go there and you make your account into the portal, and inside that portal is where you'll find the clubs that you're going to join, all the private postings. You'll have your very own private lounge to hang out at, and that's where all your meetups will be posted, all the club news. Then on top of that, there's a calendar, a planting calendar for your local zone. There's a big forum on like a huge forum on growing food for people all over the world. You can go in there and learn, spider it down, or you can just stay in your local area. Or you can just stay on the main site itself, the main You Grow Food, and not go to the portal and still watch tons of growing videos. The clubs are posting current videos now where they're meeting up. Just go check it out and look at it all and click on all the buttons. Now, I am still building the site, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to get it finished. Some buttons don't work, but the ones that do have information on them. And the portal is just I think it's my portal. When you click on that button, it'll ask you to make an account. And then behind that, there's a whole forum, all the clubs and stuff like that's in there too. So also, once you make an account, inside that forum is where all the giveaways, the prizes, the seed swaps, and all that stuff is going to be right there. And it's only going to be it's going to be for gurus. That's it. If you don't have a password and account, you're not going to be able to know what's going on as far as that goes. However, that website is kind of like TubeBuddy. It's not strictly for YouTube. So when you go there and you sign up as an account, you'll have a profile card. And when people go, they click on your profile, they're going to be able to find your YouTube, your Odyssey channel, your Facebook, your Gab, whatever else you use. If you send it to us or you can put it on your profile yourself, that card will pop up. It'll have your picture and everything, and they can click wherever they want and find you off of that one site. Plus, find you in your local area where your gardening group is inside the portal. They can also find your channel, local people that's not even using anything that has to do with Garden Gurus other than going and learning. They'll also see your channel. They'll see Remy's button. All they have to do is click on your name. It'll take you straight to the YouTube channel, Facebook, whatever corresponding button they click on. So it's a good site to use whether you join a club or not.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I didn't realize it was. Do I have that right at the bottom of the screen there?
That's right. Yep. And don't worry if it doesn't work with www. Just keep clicking on your link. It'll probably just take it out, and you can just use yougrowfood.com. It might replace it with a HTTPS, but yes, that's it. Yougrowfood.com. It'll do the rest of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And you can look around without making an account. Look around. You can see all the club stuff, the meetings, watch some videos of how-tos and stuff. And the detailed stuff is in the little portal. Once you click at it, it'll ask you for an account. And that's where all the good stuff's going to be later on. I'd say it'll probably take me, I ain't going to guess the time, but what I'm doing is I'm programming it in a text document while I'm letting the site actually work. And then once a week, I'll take it and copy it and paste it and update the site so you guys can use it while I'm building it and it don't interrupt anything. So that way the club members and everybody can start posting their info, get used to working the site and the private areas, issuing passwords to the little members so everybody will know where to go. And so I'm letting everybody use it while I build it because it's just me and my wife doing it. Plus, we're fronting the bill for it all. So, I mean, we're already paying for it. I have a website where, I'm an artist and I sell paintings for a living. And we already have have an attorney on file for payroll for that. I'm with the guild, the artist guild and everything. So I have to have my copyrights for my paintings. We already pay for the domains and the space. I've got 4 more I could add to it. So I'm already paying for the bill. I just had to build a website. So I figured I would do it. And, there's other garden collaborations out there, but some strictly for YouTube. Some are competitions with rules. And this reaches all over the world. And it's one.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
I'm about wrapping it up.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm definitely going to check that out because
I'll spend more time on
it's
there.
It's brand new though. I've seen your account. I just didn't. I think I placed you in Hickory Crop Farms. I'm not. Yeah, in their club, but I think I can't remember if they asked me to. Anyway, I put you in there. You can do what you want. You can stay there till there's one locally in your area. You don't even have to do that. Just use the hashtag. Now the hashtag for YouTube is just hashtag Garden Gurus, and that's where your video will go when you do your DIY. And there's some there's some big channels in there that's using that same hashtag, and they're proud to be using it.
Cool.
We've had it up probably 3 weeks already. We have somewhere around 40 channels using it. It has like 134 videos, and there's some really good channels using it, and they're also utilizing the portal. They're already in clubs and stuff. So, and that's been less than a month's time.
That's awesome.
So it's growing faster than I expected. And it's like I have to come home now and just make time so I can sit down and code all the new stuff and the members channels and stuff like that. So I can go in and take your channel and put a link right up under the next button and program it in, and it'll be right there with the bigger channels. All people's got to do is see your name, click on it, and it'll take them to your channel or whatever corresponding button they click. It'll maybe your Facebook or, you know, whatever we have up there for you. I'll be just right there in that one spot. So it's going to be big. It'll be like TubeBuddy, but it'll be like your personal tool for all your social media in one spot. And plus you'll have a little private sector there too to hang out with your actual club and talk, you know, amongst yourselves or with everybody else in the world. But it's just going to take me a while. So I figured I'd let everybody use it, get used to it, and start working it while I'm building it.
Yeah.
It won't be long. It'll be giving you a lot of exposure in no time. It's just, I'd say at least by Christmas, it's going to be ridiculously big. Hopefully, I'm hoping I'm not going to have to do a 501 and start hiring people to help me code. That's how fast it's growing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The whole gardening and self-sufficiency, and whether it's homesteading or whatever, it is big right now, because last year people found out what happens when dinner is at the store.
Exactly.
Sometimes
right.
You're right.
I was one of those people that learned that lesson.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm usually the smart one. I like to pride myself in saying I like to be prepared. But I was caught at that one time, and I'm not afraid to say I was scared because I didn't know. I mean, like I said, we own our own company, 2 of them, and I mean, we're not filthy rich, but we're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
We had money. We could go get whatever we wanted. We just didn't have access to it. And then after like 11 days went by, I was like, oh, okay, there's nothing in the freezer. So tomorrow we'll set traps and start doing things a little bit different. And we did that for about 2 weeks. And I'm happy to say it took 2 weeks, and we got a freezer full of fish. We got rabbit, wild rabbit, and fresh game in the freezer. And we did perfectly fine until things came back around. But I learned my lesson, and I won't be caught like that again. I do have knowledge to be able to put stuff back, and I wasn't lazy. We just had to move. So people just need to think anybody can be, no matter how prepped you are, there's always going to be that situation. And if it's me, if it can happen, most of the time it's going to on my homestead. Because
always something.
Just a homestead. I can already tell by your faces. You already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's always something, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But just the support alone has been great, man.
Yeah.
And I have been summons letting me know I have to mod for another channel in 15. So
all right. Well, yeah, I've got to go for a bite.
Tell you the guys, I'm not going to cut short, but thank you for having me up here. I'm going to take your information. I'm going to put it up on the Garden Gurus website on both pages, advertise you on both pages, so the all the general public that goes to that website will see your page. It'll help get you more exposure when it does get bigger.
Thank you.
And I'll share it wherever I can after it's done. We'll share the video and see if we can get some more views on it. Cool. And I'll do the same thing for rims. You're already there, but you just let me know when you sign in. Send me a message. I already sent you a friend's request. Just send me a message and let me know what you want to do personally about the club. If you don't want to do nothing and just start using the hashtag and wait for more clubs, you can do that, man.
Yeah, I think I'd like to start a club here in the Maritimes.
Yeah, nice. That's fine. You could do one video a year. There's no rules. You know, if you're a guru, you're a guru. Everybody knows you're not going to always be able to use the hashtag, but when you do, it'll help you. You know, so we got merch coming. We got stickers, all the logos and stuff I did myself, and it's all copyrighted through my art copyright. Even the little guru logo, that's all us. So we'll have some stuff. There's
now it's Guru or gurus? Garden
It-
guru or
Yeah,
garden gurus?
it's Gurus with an S, Garden Gurus.
Okay, because I
Oh
just
no. That's your hashtag playlist for YouTube. So when you go to YouTube, just type in hashtag Garden Gurus, just like that. And there'll be two, but one's an actual channel and one is a playlist. The playlist is what you're looking for. And
okay, cool.
when you're using your how-tos, you just use that same one hashtag, drop it in the description. It'll put your video up there with all the rest of us. And then once I see you're actually using the hashtag, I'll put your channel on the website, just like I did Rim's. And now when people go there, they can click on the button. It'll take it right to his page. And he's also there as a member in Canada. So
It seems like I was watching a video the other day. A guy was planting some things in a beautiful garden. I mean, it didn't look like a food garden to me. It looked like a, a garden you go to relax in, but it was all edible. And I'm pretty sure I saw the Garden Gurus hashtag there.
yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot of people. I'm happy with the small channels. We got brand new channels. I think we got a channel just came with 25 subs. We got another channel that came on and it was like, wow, thanks for the willow water. I'm impressed. I've learned something. So I'm jumping on board. 15,000 sub channel. Once they start using that hashtag and other people see that hashtag in there, it's going to be impossible not to grow, guys. I mean, Dan Permaculture alone is just shoving this stuff out there because he's just so enthralled with the idea. Home in the Sticks, Dan, Big Dan, down in where's he at? In Louisiana. He is some type of law enforcement down in Louisiana. Big time gardener, big channel. I think he's 12,000 subs or whatever. So I mean, it's going places, and we're all using the same hashtag, so it puts you right there with those other audiences, and it also puts you on our website, which I see the last time I went and looked at it, it's 3 weeks old. I think we've had 1,394 views on it, and it's under construction. So that's 1,030 some people, or however many that could already been clicking on your channel just looking. Whether they sub or not, you're getting channel views.
Right.
You know, you're getting the video watch out of it.
Well, now I'm getting excited to learn. You know, I mean, I have an empty garden right now, and so that's the thing that's on my mind is transplanting and all that stuff. So
And that's,
Yeah, we're still a couple of weeks away.
yeah, and on the hashtag, there's everybody in every area you can imagine all across the world. So there's always going to be something there in your area eventually. These people all over the world is joining and doing how-tos. Eventually, you're not going to be able to get on there and not find out 10 miles down the road how garlic grows in your area. You know what I'm saying? Which is an amazing thing because I love YouTube, but when I sit down, I'm on a mission. Number one, I don't want to watch somebody's 15-minute intro because I'm going to skip it.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for something, I go straight to it. I want the info, but if it ain't what I'm looking for, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the other time, I like to enjoy it, you know? So that's what I like to go for is just straight for those how-tos. And a lot of times I like to do the collective, you know, if I don't know what I'm looking for, if I don't know what I'm doing and I'm looking for something, what 85% of the people say is right, I'm going to go with that after I watch however many, you know, research is ridiculous anyway with me.
Yeah.
But so when you go find all those big guys, I've already learned from people that had less subs than me. I don't, like I say, I don't look at people as a number.
Right.
You might have 25 subs, but I can learn from you just as good as I can somebody that had 1 million subs. So those big guys are starting to learn that, and they just joined up. So I mean, like I said, once it gets so big, you can't not grow.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So I'm pretty happy with it because it's pretty much we got some people on board to help us, but it's pretty much something. I'm not gonna lie to you. I came in with this thing called Shed Boars. I was going to do this competition, all of it. Don't know what happened. Pretty healthy. Right when it all started, I wound up in the hospital. They was checking me for a heart attack, and the season just had started like a month ago.
Yeah.
And 2 days after it started, I posted a video and said, I'm out. I'm not going to meet deadlines. I'm not going to rush with all the stuff I've already got going on here in the homestead. If I do how-tos, it's going to have to be when I can post them. Not every Saturday at this certain time. And then you have to, I was interested in it to see how much food I actually grew in 1 year. Because in Zone 7, we have like maybe 2 or more harvest times that we can do, you know?
Right.
So, well, we
Well,
like
you
to
can
do,
still do that without the scheduling and the hassle that's going to put stress on your body that you don't need.
Exactly. Yeah.
exactly, just what, exactly. And that's what I was looking at. And I was like, okay, well, if we take all that away, then I'll just go ahead and make a playlist myself and just start. I want to see what I produce. And that was the trick right there. I was like, I can still see how much. It's a good idea because we like to grow and eat fresh out of our garden and still put up for the winter so we can eat that way too. That's been our goal every time. We look at it by the year, not put enough. We don't prep that way. We always try to put up per the year because we always do it here. We have our seeds. So that's how we do it.
Yeah. Well, guys, I've got to take a biological, so I'm going to go ahead and go out. I know you've got to go to your thing. And Remy, thanks for being here. This has been fun. This has been awesome. I was talking to Remy, and next time we can have one of you guys host one. I pretty much plan on going live every Thursday. But whenever you guys want, just hit me up and we'll do it, because I think we've gone 2 hours and I don't want to stop.
Yes, normally with people, I don't even really care who joins. If I get in a panel and I get along with somebody, I'll just talk. The views will come later. I'll share the video and try to get more views on it, but it'll come, man. Those people coming in live, it'll come. And you go at 6 on Thursdays?
6 Eastern, yeah.
Okay, we're 9 on Sundays, but I also mod for a bunch of channels. But it's not. I should be able to make yours on 6 because we do Lala's on 7. I'm a big time mod for Lala. That's my favorite. I love him, guys. So, and then I'm mod for Jewel Small Garden. It's another big channel. He helps me out with Garden Guru. So I'm mod for him on Thursdays also, but that's way after your time. So I should be able to start helping out on those some and sharing out. And Remy, do you have a regular scheduled live or?
Not yet. I tried on I think it was on Saturday afternoons or Sundays afternoon, and nobody was coming. So last time I went on Friday night, but I know there's so many people going on Friday nights that I tried to go somewhere in between, and I think it ended up being around like 7:30 to 8:30 or something like that there. But it's not a regular schedule yet. It's something that I'm gonna have to work on. I know, but not there quite yet.
Yeah, it's okay. We used to go regularly, and now we've had to just stop and do sporadic. It's always on Sunday, but it ain't every Sunday anymore. So we just have to know it's live. Thank you, guys. I'll go ahead and get some of y'all got some of your information posted up on the site. And next time
I'll be visiting that shortly.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
You guys have a good one.
Yeah, you too. We'll talk to y'all later.
Yep.
Take care. Comes in and what?
All right.
All right. See ya.
Yeah, we'll see you later.